Welcome to the Explainer. If you're staring down the barrel of international document authentication and feeling, well, completely overwhelmed, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're giving you the ultimate map through the maze of Washington state apostilles. Seriously, imagine needing to authenticate your documents internationally, but not knowing where to start. It can feel like this massive bureaucratic wall standing right between you and your international move, or that overseas business deal, or maybe even your destination wedding. But hey, don't sweat it. In this explainer, we'll unravel the exact steps to obtaining an apostille in Washington, ensuring your papers are properly recognized abroad. Consider me your personal guide. We're going to break down all those complex rules into simple, actionable steps. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. 1. Understanding the apostille. 2. Document eligibility rules. 3. The step-by-step process. 4. Fees and processing times. 5. Common mistakes to avoid. And finally, number 6, resources and disclaimers. Let's get to it. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Understanding the apostille. So what exactly is this fancy piece of paper? Well, an apostille is a single-page, trilingual document. It's printed in English, French, and Spanish, and it's issued directly by the Washington Secretary of State. Its entire job, literally its only purpose, is to verify a public document's origin so you can use it internationally. If you're wondering what it looks like, it features this distinct black and white Washington state seal, and it gets attached to your official document with a really secure corner attachment. And listen, do not try to take it off. You cannot detach it once it's affixed because doing that totally voids the authentication. It ruins the whole shebang. Now, before you even start filling out forms, there's a critical fork in the road you need to know about. Where is your document actually going? See, based on the 1961 Hague Convention, there's a dual-track system here. If your destination country is part of the Hague Convention, which is over 120 nations, by the way, they're going to accept the streamlined apostille. Boom, easy. But if your destination is a non-Hague country, the state of Washington is going to issue what's called a certificate of authentication instead. It looks pretty similar, but it requires a way longer, multi-tiered legalization chain. We're talking going through the U.S. Department of State and the destination country's embassy. So knowing your destination status, that is absolutely your step number 1. Moving right along to Section 2, document eligibility rules. Okay, so what can you actually get apostilled in Washington? The primary categories include vital records, stuff like birth, death, and marriage certificates, plus divorce decrees. Then you've got educational records, so your transcripts and diplomas. It also covers corporate filings, like articles of incorporation, and notarized personal documents, say a power of attorney. Now, here is a really crucial point. The Washington Secretary of State is only verifying the signature, the seal, or the official capacity of the person who signed the document, like the notary or the state registrar. They are absolutely not verifying the truthfulness or the legal accuracy of the document's actual content. They're just saying, yep, this signature is real. And that brings us to the absolute golden rule of apostilles. Are you ready? You must submit original wet signatures or authorized certified copies only, period. If you print out a scanned copy of a marriage certificate or hand in a photocopy of a notarized letter, no way. It's going to be immediately rejected. Vital records have to be official, certified copies with those raised seals from the issuing agency. And notarized documents, they need the actual physical ink signature of both you and the Washington notary. All right, Section 3, the step-by-step process. Let's walk through the 3 main phases here. Step 1, like we literally just talked about, is to gather your original documents and make sure they're properly certified or notarized by a Washington official. Step 2, you're going to go online and download the Washington Secretary of State Apostille Authentication Request Form. Fill that out. It asks for your contact info and, most importantly, the destination country. Then step 3 is packaging it all up. Get your documents, that completed form, and your payment, and submit the whole thing to the Secretary of State's Corporations Division in Olympia. Now, you actually have 2 different ways to submit this. First is the standard do-it-yourself route. That's where you coordinate the vital records, the notarization, the request form, and the mail tracking entirely on your own. But there is a second option, and it's an incredible shortcut if you need vital records, the integrated Department of Health and Secretary of State pipeline. If you need, say, a new birth or marriage certificate and an apostille, you can order them at the exact same time through the DOH or their vendor, Vital Check. What happens is the DOH prints your record and literally walks it directly over to the Secretary of State for the apostille. It saves you so much intermediate handling. Just a quick heads up, though, because 2 different agencies are touching it, the initial shipping time to your house might be just a tiny bit delayed. Still a massive game changer, though. Now, what's really interesting about this next part, Section 4, Fees and Processing Times. $15. I want you to etch this number right into your mind. $15 is the baseline administrative fee per document charged by the Washington Secretary of State. Honestly, that is a rare bargain in the world of government bureaucracy. It's incredibly cost-effective compared to a lot of other administrative stuff out there, assuming, of course, you have the time to wait for standard mail. But hey, what if you don't have time to wait? Let's break down the options. Standard mail-in takes about 7 to 10 business days, and it just costs that flat $15 a document. If you need it faster, you can opt for expedited mail-in. That drops the timeline down to 2 to 3 business days, but it adds a $100 surcharge for every block of 10 documents. And finally, if you are really down to the wire, you can use the walk-in same-day service. You just take your documents to the physical counter locations in either Tumwater, which is just south of Olympia, or over at Eastern Washington University in Cheney. They'll actually process it right there while you wait. But fair warning, this carries a hefty $150 same-day counter fee on top of the standard $15 per document, so you definitely pay for the speed. Let's shift gears to preemptive troubleshooting. Section 5, Common Mistakes to Avoid. You'd be surprised, but the state actually rejects a lot of applications. Let's look at the top reasons so you don't make these mistakes. Number 1, which we stressed earlier, submitting photocopies of signatures. Just don't do it. Number 2 is incomplete notary certificates. If your notary forgets to write the specific county venue or forgets to date the document, boom, the state will reject it. Number 3, digital-only notary stamps. Washington absolutely requires physical ink for this specific international process. And finally, missing the required return tracking label. If you mail your documents in without a prepaid, traceable return envelope, the state is going to send your critical, irreplaceable documents back via standard, untracked USPS first-class mail. Talk about stressful. Always provide a FedEx or UPS return label. Now, the absolute biggest jurisdictional trap people fall into is confusing state documents with federal documents. The Washington Secretary of State can only authenticate documents issued within Washington state. So your local birth certificates, your diplomas, local notaries, stuff like that. They have zero legal authority over federal documents. None. If you send an FBI background check, a certificate of naturalization, or a USDA certificate to Olympia, they will reject it and send it right back. Federal documents have to go through a completely separate pipeline directly to the U.S. Department of State in Washington, D.C. Keeping this distinction straight is absolutely vital. We are nearing the end of the maze. Section 6, Resources and Disclaimers. If you hit a roadblock, you want to go straight to the source, right? Well, the Washington Secretary of State's Corporations Division is actually incredibly helpful. You can just give them a call at 360-725-0377 or shoot them an email at apostilles@sos.wa.gov. Now, if you're trying to use that integrated pipeline for vital records we talked about earlier, you can reach the Department of Health's vendor, Vital Check, at 1-866-687-1464. Honestly, do not hesitate to contact them just to verify your specific document's eligibility before you go paying for shipping. And now for a quick professional disclaimer. While we've built a really comprehensive map for you today, bureaucratic procedures and state fees do occasionally change. So it's always a good idea to consult the official Washington Secretary of State website or seek professional legal counsel just to confirm the exact requirements for your specific international needs at the time you actually apply. Navigating the Apostille process might seem pretty daunting at first glance, I know, but by following this structured approach, verifying your destination, getting those original signatures, choosing the right submission pipeline, and steering clear of those common pitfalls, you can absolutely conquer this bureaucratic maze. So with your paperwork securely authenticated and ready to be recognized by foreign governments, I want to leave you with this exciting question to think about. Where in the world will your documents take you next? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy travels!